The last battle, the 73 Easting. And I've got to tell you, the 73 Easting is an interesting one because I think it shows the American soldier at his best. Just as we've talked about the brilliant performance of the individual German soldier, the Israeli soldier, the American soldier in the 73 Easting turns in an exceptional performance. And I want to give you a quick insight into the American soldier and his mentality. Shortly before we deployed to the border with Saudi Arabia and then began our invasion, if you will, of Iraq, we were much deeper inside Saudi Arabia, but we had sent one troop up to the border with Saudi Arabia and Iraq. This was called Ghost Troop, G Troop. There are some members of Ghost Troop in the audience, by the way, who were there with me. And Ghost Troop has the mission to defend this log base and to defend along the border. All of a sudden, I'm wakened. I think I was trying to get some sleep. It was in the evening, about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And one of the NCOs said, the duty officer wants you to come over to the Tactical Operations Center right away. This is a couple of weeks before we actually went into Iraq. And I walked in there and I said, what's going on? And he said, well, the squadron's on alert. We have information that Ghost Troop is under artillery fire. I alerted regiment. Well, suddenly you had the entire 2nd Armored Cavalry Battle Group, which was about almost 5,000 in the regiment, plus a reinforcing artillery brigade, some 7,000. Everyone is up, everyone's mounted, vehicles are running. And into the headquarters, or this Tactical Operations Center, walks a non-commissioned officer. He happened to be my master gunner. And he said, what's going on? And so the duty officer said, Sergeant, you know, we have a report here that says Ghost Troop is taking artillery fire up on the border with Saudi Arabia. And he said, oh, so we all want to rush right up there and get under it with them? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And of course, it didn't make any sense. So I said, well, wait a minute, show me the original report. And the original report came in as follows. I have air-to-ground bombs at my location. So I thought, this is rather odd. I've never heard of bombs that did not fall from the air to the ground. Are there ground-to-air bombs? I've only heard of air-to-ground bombs. Well, you can bet what had happened. This poor guy, and this is, remember, people are nervous. Everyone's green. There's only one man in my 1,100-man battle group that had actually seen action in Vietnam, and he's my operations sergeant major, a tall, distinguished black man named Ketchings. None of us had really seen action before. And so it's natural. He had seen these flares coming out of A-10s that were flying over Kuwait and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and he thought, well, these are bombs. And of course, they were there to confuse the enemy's air defenses. But that's the sort of thing that inevitably happens in every war.